Okay, so what I'm going to be talking about is essentially rapid prototyping, or doing programming without having to write lots of code. I spend a lot of time playing on the web, and as I do so, I look for tools that I can plug together with URLs. And what I'm going to do is show you some examples of how we can use applications on the web as essentially functions in programs. And we can get content flowing between applications on the web, doing work, and then displaying the results in nice ways. The attitude that I do this with is a playful one. I work in an institution. I work for the OU. The Open University, we, like you have here, have institutional IT systems. If you want IT systems being built, then quite often projects have to be booked, specifications have to be written, requirements have to be gathered, and it can take months and years. Whereas I'm more of an attitude of, oh, well, I'll just build it myself. I'll build it quickly. I'll build a rapid prototype. It might only be a one-off use, the application I want. So I will build it. And if anyone else wants to use it, I've got a working specification that then can be given to someone else, used to help define their requirements, used to help define their specification, used to build their proper system. So I have an attitude of just do it. The style of programming, this is a phrase that I've been working on for only a couple of weeks. I think is feed-oriented programming. And one thing I'm going to use this talk for is to help me better understand what I think I mean by that phrase. So this is sort of work in progress for me as well. And this session will be contributing to my thinking. So things I'm going to think about are using applications like little Lego blocks, using applications like programming functions that can do some sort of computational task, and then taking an output from those, which is defined in a very particular format. So we've got applications that do stuff. We take data or information or content in one format, a nice block of meat. We get it out in another format. That can then be passed on to another application or another function, and another step in the program chain can be done as a result. So this chap, one of my heroes, does anyone know who he is? This is, yes, no? John Otway, he had a hit. So this slide reminds me that I'm going to talk about my hit now. My hit is a hit on my website. I write everything I do on the blog called Useful Info. And a couple of years ago, I had a big spike in traffic. Right, I had a very popular post, and so what I'm going to tell you about is this post of mine, the hit. Just by the by, does anyone know who this chap is? Does no one know who this chap is? This chap is Sir Tim Berners-Lee. Does anyone know who Tim Berners-Lee is? Right, he invented the web. He invented the web at CERN 20 or so years ago. So I've seen these two people quite a lot. I've never seen them both in the same room. I don't know. Anyway, so my hit was this. It was taking some content from Wikipedia in just a general Wikipedia page, some content in an HTML table, and displaying it on a map. A Google map, and this map could be embedded on any page. And the way I did it was just using web tools, and essentially was just cutting and pasting URLs together. I didn't have to do much programming at all in order to get this content from Wikipedia page into the Google map, and doing it in such a way that if anyone changed the content in this page, the content would change on the map as well. Okay, I did it in a programming, a codeless way. That was the wrong transition. So much for moving from one machine to another. The way I did it, and I will walk through how I did it, was to use Google Docs. Now, Google Docs is one of the platforms I think you have access to here. Google Docs has got various tools in it, or it's a word processor and a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is actually quite a powerful mashup environment. You can use it to do web programming with, and I will show you how to do that. The other tool I'm going to use is Yahoo Pipes, and in this session after this talk, you will get an opportunity to play with some Yahoo Pipes. So what I'm going to do, I don't know what that means, is take Wikipedia page, which is an HTML page. I'm going to drag it into a Google spreadsheet using a formula called import HTML. From the spreadsheet, I'm going to get a CSV file out. That's a comma-separated value file out. I'm going to put that into a Yahoo pipe. So we're going to go from Wikipedia to Google to Yahoo. We're going to take the content out of the Yahoo pipe, which will be automatically translated into another format called KML, Keyhole Markup Language, passed back to another Google server where it will be rendered on the Google map. Right, so the demo goes like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with Wikipedia. So this is a live demo. We'll have to see if it works. Hopefully it will. So go to Wikipedia. The page I'm going to look for UK city populations. So I'm going to find a page that's got a set of tabular data, which is the populations of UK cities. Okay. So list of largest UK kingdom settlements by population. There's a table on that page. If you look at the HTML of this page, if you do view HTML in the browser, you will see that this is a simple HTML table. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the URL of that page. I'm going to go to Google Docs. I'm going to create a new spreadsheet. And I'm going to use a special function called import HTML. Okay, import HTML. It takes 3 arguments. It takes the URL of the target page, it takes a query, and the Google Docs, Google Spreadsheets can import 2 sorts of things. It can import tables, it can import HTML tables, and it can import HTML lists, unordered lists. So that's things with a UL attribute or things with a table attribute. I'm going to paste in the URL for the Wikipedia page. I'm going to say that I want it to extract a table, and the final parameter is the number of the table if there are several tables in the page, which I'm guessing it's 1. If I'm wrong, then I'll change it. I'm guessing it's the first table. Okay, right. So that has now gone off and it's pulled the table into the page. Right, it's pulled it in. So we're on Google Spreadsheets. It's pulled the content into the page from Wikipedia. This gets updated every so often, every few seconds. If we change the content on the Wikipedia page, the change will be reflected in the spreadsheet. Okay? I've done no programming, but I've now got the data from a table on an HTML page anywhere on the web, got it into my spreadsheet. Now, one thing I can do, we'll say yes. If I publish this data, if it lets me, I need to save the spreadsheet name, so I'm just going to call it UOP demo. If I publish the spreadsheet as a web page, I start publishing it, and I tell the spreadsheet to automatically republish when changes are made. So if changes are made in the original Wikipedia page, the spreadsheet will pick up on that fact. It will take the information from the new Wikipedia page. I'm going to publish all of that information. I can publish it in various ways. From the spreadsheet. So I can use the spreadsheet to represent the data. I can represent the data as on a web page or as HTML that can be embedded in a web page. So I could take just the HTML table and republish it anywhere else on the web. I can get it out as a CSV file, a comma-separated variable file. I can get it as an atom or an RSS feed. I can get it in various ways. I'm going to publish it as CSV, comma-separated data.